We're still chatting with David Arquette and Baron Davis. Okay, so now we have to talk about your new movie, Domino Battle of the Bones. This movie dives into competitive dominoes. Were you both familiar with this world before the movie? Baron, let's start off with you.
Yes, I would say, it started with me as a kid, just kind of, learning how to count, but being around a lot of, the older male figures in my neighborhood. And it was just a great way for me to listen to smack talking, people communicate. And so for me, it was always been a part of my life, lifestyle. Even in the NBA, we would play dominoes on the plane. It was just a story that I wanted to write because there was so many characters that, the weirdest, wildest characters that you can imagine, they can all kind of congregate around a game of dominoes. So it's been a part of my life.
David, what about you? Did you play dominoes or what?
I did. It's like dominoes was one of the first forms of gambling I did as a kid. First you do Get Like Me, where you flip a coin and see who got heads or tails. Then you do Big Bank Take, Little Bank, whoever's got more in their wallet. Then dominoes. It was a great game. It really is just sort of joking with your friends is kind of what it's all about. That's what I love about the movie.
Yeah.
Right. So Baron, this is your directorial debut. How did this all come about?
Shout out to Lori Tanner, Dow Jazz Films. She came to me and she was like, hey, we had a meeting about producing together. And she was like, you should direct. And I was like, for real? And she was like, yeah, I'll pay for it. And I was like, okay, let's get it done. So how it happened. And I was like, yo, I got a movie I've been working on. And I've been working on the movie a couple years ago with Dr. Dre. And, then he got straight out of Compton. So, this kind of project has been a project of passion of mine, I say, for about 5 years. And so, shout out to Lori Tanner. Shout out to Dr. Dre for helping me, with the early stage of development. And, now it's done.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I just gotta say, this is my wife's favorite film that I've did. Her favorite performance of me. She loves Baron.
Really?
She loves Snoop Dogg. She loves TLC, grew up in the 90s, so movies like Fridays and House Party, she is in full force.
Wow.
Nice.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Cool, you made her list. This is so good. Did you two learn anything from each other while making this movie? I can't even imagine.
Oh, yeah.
David, what about for you?
He's so cute.
This dude is cool. I would say as a first-time director, I would say what I learned was time management. And so since we wasted a lot of time, it gave me a chance to get to know David, just talk about what he was doing, future, and also just kind of pick his brain for, different scenes in the movie that he wanted to bring, his character to life in. And so, I think that was the beauty of kind of being with him, is you have somebody that can guide you, who's been in a ton of movies, right? And so it kind of gave me a feeling of confidence all the time. But then also, since we were wasting a lot of time, I figure I'll be a friend and entertain them offset.
Oh, he was awesome.
David, what did you learn?
Baron's got this way of just living life and directing. It's sort of similar, and acting, where it's just kind of a flow he gets into, and it's all kind of it's a little like a little crazy. Like, when are we gonna shoot? But then when it all comes together. It all comes together magically, and it makes for some loose magic. And I learned you should I don't know, my dad was an improviser, so whenever you're reading comedies like this, in this vein, when you have a lot of comedic actors that can think on their toes, gives you the ability to have a few jokes in your pocket, think about where your character would go with certain stuff, and just kind of have fun with it. The looser you can do it and more fun you can have, the more it comes off on the other side.
I couldn't agree more. Well, we actually have a clip of the two of you in Domino Battle of the Bones. Let's take a look.
Guess what? I got 3 50-pound cockroaches the size of pit bulls right behind you, ready to fight. You hear me?
Cockroaches?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Hey, what? Oh, you gonna use the Lord's name in vain?
No,
Huh?
I didn't.
In my establishment?
Uh-huh.
Do you know I'm a man of God? Huh?
Clearly.
You got till 4 p.m. to come up with scraps. Oh, Lord, forgive me.
Clearly.
He said clearly. Baron, when you're not directing movies or investing, you're busy hosting your podcast. So tell us a little bit about that and who's been your favorite person to interview so far.
Yeah, so shout out to iHeartRadio and Slick for the Point Guard podcast. So it's interviewing all the top point guards or my favorite point guards that have played the game of basketball, NBA, street, college. And I think the best thing about it is I get to be a fan. So, Nick Van Exel, Rod Strickland, I would say my favorite is Isaiah Thomas because I feel like he is probably the pound for pound one of the best players to ever play, but definitely one of the most underrated. And so, for me, it gives me opportunity to really fan out and bring my fans closer to the person that I'm fans of.
Definitely. Being from Detroit, Isaiah, that was the man back in Detroit. So, David, Baron, thank you so much for stopping by today. Keep a lookout for Domino, Battle of the Bones in theaters, June the 11th.